verse 16.
And Jacob begot Joseph, the husband of Mary, of whom was born Jesus.
So it talks about his whole lineage. Jesus Christ looked just like us, according to this Bible. Let's get Revelation 1. Now we're going to go into this portion of it right quick. Grab that one right there. Let me see that one. Yep. We're going to get the Caesar Borgia. We're going to bring this truth out. Because, yeah, indeed, they covered the faces of our forefathers and made it seem like we look like that, but we don't. That's why we got to come out and read the Bible and bring the information out. But go ahead. Because God has a people that he wanted this information to get to. But go ahead and read that.
Revelation chapter 1, verse 1. The revelation of Jesus Christ, which God gave unto him to show unto his servants things which must shortly come to pass.
They said this thing must be shown to his servant. We the servants of God. We his children. But go ahead. Because it must come to pass, which today is coming to pass. Go ahead.
Shortly come to pass, and he sent and signified it by his angel unto his servant John, who bear record of the word of God and of the testimony of Jesus Christ.
Which we carry that same testimony right now to you, my brother. But go ahead. Now we're going to get the color. Because if it wasn't important for God to show the color of the people, why would he put it in his Bible? Why would he tell you, hey, these are the color scriptures. Show it to your people. Why would he tell you that it's important to be written down on the book? But go ahead and read that.
Revelations chapter 1, verse 13. And in the midst of the seven candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man,
which is Christ, go ahead,
clothed with a garment down to his foot, and girt about the paps with a golden girdle. His head and his hairs were white like wool.
Woolly hair. Who has woolly hair? Us, right? Check that out. This is Dick Gregory. They said his head and his hairs were white like wool. Back then, they didn't call it gray hair. They called it white. But we call it gray hair, right? But look at his head. His head and his hairs on his beard are white like wool. But go ahead. Look at this sheet. Yep, go ahead.
His heads and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow. And his eyes were as a flame of fire. And his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burn in a furnace. And his voice as the sound of many waters.
So it said his feet was like unto fine brass, as if it burned in the furnace. Brass is like a golden color. But when you burn it, this is what it comes out looking like. Remember earlier it said our visage was as an oven, as black as an oven. You know they used the wood burning oven, so when they were cooking them ovens, the ovens would turn black. Be from the ashes in the heat. The same thing with Christ. Dark-skinned man. These are all X'd out, right? He don't have blue eyes. He don't have long stringy hair as they show you in these depictions. And he's brown-skinned, just like in the Bible. So now I'm going to show you something else. Go to Deuteronomy 28:68. Bring it out. So we're going to show you that we here in captivity in America. Have you heard about the 400 years that everybody talking about? The celebration of the African Americans? But you know that's actually right here, prophesied in the Bible? Let's get that. Let's get Genesis 15:13. I'm going to show you. We the seed, we the stock of Abraham.
Genesis.
Yep, Genesis 15:13.
It's the book of Genesis chapter 15, verse 13. And he said unto Abram, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land.
So we strangers in this land, right? Go ahead.
That is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict.
Who are we serving here in America? Huh? The whites, right? Yeah, we serving them. The Bible prophecy, brother. It's, man.
And shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years.
Aren't we being afflicted? Don't we still have cases of white people, so-called officers of authority, killing unarmed black men? Man, yeah, it's heavy.
400 years.
400 years. The transatlantic slave trade started in the 1600s. 2019, 2020. That's the 400-year mark. But now let's get to the other thing, Deuteronomy 28:68. Yeah, finish it.
And also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge.
So the so-called white man will get his judgment, but we got to wake up first. So they not just going unpunished, unscathed. The Most High is like, okay, for a time being, but they going to get punished.
And afterward shall they come out with great substance.
So we're going to come out of America with great substance once America is judged. But right now we've been punished, but we waking up to who we are as a nation of people. So now let's get to Deuteronomy 28:68.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into slavery again with ships.
The word slavery, it also says bondage or Egypt in there. The Lord shall bring us into Egypt again by ships, which you can get that in Exodus 20:2. It shows you that the word Egypt means bondage. That's a Greek word. But also, we in slavery. We came over here on the cargo slave ships, right? Well, go ahead. And nobody can refute that because it's written record that the so-called white man has brought us over here on cargo slave ships. But go ahead.
And the Lord shall bring thee into slavery again with ships. By the way whereof I speak unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
So we ain't see our homeland no more. You didn't know we was from Jerusalem, right? Israel. Hold that. Let's get Galatians 5:26. 4:26. We're gonna show you, brother. We're gonna show you the homeland. Galatians 4 verse 26.
This is the book of Galatians chapter 4 verse 26. But Jerusalem, which is above, is free, which is the mother of us all.
That's the homeland.
Real motherland.
Yep, the real motherland, which stretches from the Nile River, which is on the African plate, all the way to the, no, we got to get that map, all the way to Mesopotamia. That's Jerusalem. That's all of Jerusalem, which includes Iran, Iraq, all of that is our land.
The Fertile Crescent.
Yep, the Fertile Crescent. But let's go back to the Deuteronomy 28:68 real quick.
And the Lord shall bring thee into slavery again with ships. By the way whereof I speak unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
Who's our enemies today? Caucasians. Man, you the only one, the first person I've known to bravely say it. Everybody else be like, he just came out and said the Caucasians, which is evident. They constantly killing us, they robbing us, and they stealing everything we have. So that will make them an enemy, not our own people. Because you have crime in every neighborhood. White folks steal from white folks, but the Bible clearly shows you that they are enemies. But we were never taught this in church or in school. But when the prophets, the Most High put his spirit in the prophets to come out and teach the truth, we teach you the truth. So this right here is evident, brother, that we are the children of Israel. Because it said we would go into captivity 400 years to our oppressors. We would serve them and they would afflict us, which they still do it today. Right? But go ahead, was all of that?
Sold unto your enemies.
They said we shall be sold unto our enemies. Who bought us on the auction blocks? So-called white man, right? They were raping our little children. They had buck-breaking farms. The strongest man, the so-called Mandigo, if he was bucking up against the white man, they'll put him on the horse, tie him together, and split him apart, or rape him in front of his wife and kids. Yeah. Also, look up. You can look up. It's you familiar with YouTube? Look up "Goodbye Uncle Tom." They made a movie in 1970, but they banned it in the U.S. It was about us coming over here on cargo slave ships and the way they treated us. Those who, some of our men, they tried to starve themselves. So what they would do, they would get sugar cane, right? Break the teeth out of their mouth because they were strong and they could work if they were healthy. So because they were trying to start the same thing they do in prison today. how they be starving themselves, having protests. They were doing that on these ships. They would break their teeth out and feed them oatmeal so they could stay alive. But when they got over here, they didn't have no teeth to chew with. Yeah, man, that's things they do. They would rape the women. You see that movie? What's that movie?
Birth of a Nation.
Yeah, Birth of a Nation.